Well, folks, this is it. We are going over the biggest piece of Detroit Red Wings news today. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody is conversing about it. Everybody is debating it. Today we are talking about Axel Sandin Pellikka. Oh my gosh! The guy went out there and scored a hat trick and an assist in the first game of the World Mother Freaking Juniors. Look at the snipe. Look at the celly, baby. Axel Sandin Pellikka, you are a star. Move aside, be a goth. This is the true superstar of the day. And I think a lot of Red Wings fans have taken up their time on this very lovely Thursday afternoon to discuss Axel Sandin Pellikka, right? Okay, all kidding aside, because it is great that ASP scored himself a hat trick in this wonderful World Junior game, the biggest piece of Red Wings news happened a few hours before this went down. We have ourselves the firing of one head coach Derek Lalonde. Okay, this was posted, this was talked about, this was revealed. The Red Wings have fired head coach Derek Lalonde and assistant coach Bob Boughner. Todd Mclellan is replacing Lalonde, and he is joined by assistant Trent Yawney. Let's go out there and read the Red Wings statement on the matter. Detroit Red Wings Executive Vice President and GM Steve Yzerman today announced that the team has named Todd Mclellan the 29th head coach in franchise history and signed him to a multi-year contract. Additionally, the Red Wings have hired Trent Yawney as an assistant coach. Head coach Derek Lalonde and associate coach Bob Boughner have both been relieved of their coaching duties, effective immediately. Steve Yzerman is kind of ruthless. The day after Christmas? Oh boy, the guy's out. Newsy is out, baby, and I think, it's not really like a common thing to celebrate the firing of somebody, but in the sports world, where fans are cutthroat and passionate about the teams that they cheer for, hey, I'm sorry, Derek, but we kind of have no choice here. This was the right move. This move should have been done yesterday. Okay, maybe not yesterday on Christmas Day, but it should have been done earlier, considering how the Red Wings have been so lackluster and how there have been so many disappointing moments throughout this season, and we're not even halfway through the year yet. The Wings have definitely not been in that same sort of competitive spirit like they were at towards the end of 23-24. Last season, in the second half of the year, they were super competitive and they were able to find themselves in the playoff race. Sure, they weren't able to make it, but they were in there. And there was some sort of an idea saying, yeah, okay, if there can still be that level of drive and desire with this team, if Derek Lalonde is able to bring the best out of this Red Wings squad in 24-25, then okay, keep him around for a bit. But it was very evident since the start of the year that Derek Lalonde did not have that sort of handle on the team to head into the long term, especially heading into just December itself. So taking a look at available options, Stevie Y didn't hire Joel Quenneville, he hired Todd Mclellan. And what I wanted to do was dive into some of the history here, because Todd Mclellan has had a pretty strong record as a head coach in the past, particularly his days as the San Jose Sharks head coach. I mean, look at this. First in the Pacific, first in the Pacific, first in the Pacific, second, third, second in the Pacific, always making the playoffs and either losing in the third round, which he did twice in a row, losing in the first round, losing in the second round, losing in the first round. Lots of playoff prosperity here. And while they only made the third round twice, I mean, they still made the third round. Still pretty good, right? And they were first place in the Pacific in that season. So the San Jose Sharks in those days were pretty deadly. He was also a part of Edmonton, lost in the second round with the Oilers in 2016-17, then as a part of the LA Kings. He wasn't really all too great, admittedly. Lost in the first round twice in a row to the Oilers. I mean, Connor McDavid against LA, that was a pretty good rivalry of the early 2020s. Who knows what happens in this season's playoffs if that ever goes down again. But Todd Mclellan is a guy who, at only 57 years old, definitely has a lot more coaching ahead of him. This will be a really good adjustment for the way the Detroit Red Wings are able to play. I also wanted to go out there and read some fan reaction because, of course, Red Wings fans going out there and talking about Axel Sandin Pellikka, they were also clamoring around the news that Todd Mclellan has been hired. Oh baby, I really thought we were just going to ride out Lalonde's contract and part ways in the summer. Finally, some kind of a shakeup. Am I excited again? What is this? I'm sure there'll be many who insist that hiring a new coach was pointless once we start losing some more games, but that's not actually the point. A ton of us have been convinced that Lalonde was actually doing harm to the team. We probably still won't make the playoffs this season, and that's alright. The point is, we're not working backwards anymore. And it's also just worth sending a message to the guys that A, it's not acceptable to play poorly, and there are organizational ramifications if you do, and B, we care that you're not mired in a losing culture. I have to imagine that the guys will perk up knowing that the front office is listening and taking action to put them in the best position to succeed. I also doubt that we'll make any meaningful push as the roster just isn't that great, but the message this sends is the most important thing long term. Absolutely. Yzerman took his damn time, but he sent the message that he is not okay with how mediocre things are going, and that starts up top. Right. It's how the team was losing that was the problem. It's one thing to play well and lose, it's another thing entirely to play like crap and lose. What was happening this season was the latter, and that's unacceptable at this point in the rebuild. And so, for the Detroit Red Wings, this might have been way overdue. And I'm sorry, bald-ass head coach who has Derek Lalonde's picture as his little flair there on Reddit, but it's kind of outdated now. No more Derek Lalonde. Newsy Lalonde is out in Detroit. Here's some history for the masses. Mclellan was our assistant coach, hired back in 2005, where he served until 2008, where he had been hired by the head coach as the San Jose Sharks. During that time, the Red Wings had the league's most effective power play in 5-06 and the third best in 07-08. Other notes. Mclellan went to the playoffs in 6 out of the 7 seasons he had with the Sharks, went to the playoffs in a fourth of a season with the Oilers, 3 out of 5 seasons with LA as well. Lastly, in contrast to their systems, Mclellan has been known to run a 1-2-1, similar in structure to Detroit's current forecheck, but with the 1 having emphasis on the puck carrier. Lalonde's 1-2-2 was catered to be more passive, with coverage geared towards covering passing lanes and trying to create a bit more of a neutral zone trap. The assistants might assume PPPK responsibilities, but the notable difference might be the PK. Lalonde did utilize a diamond into a small box approach, allowing the defense to take long-range shots in hopes of neutralizing high-danger shots, though this system has been exploited recently for its breakdown in low-corner situations, as an opposing player would slip into the top circle spot for a rather high-danger shot. Mclellan is a bit more toward a large box approach, and has traditionally preferred more aggressive approaches to force turnovers. In short, we're going from a bit more of a defensive-minded, positional-oriented coach to a more aggressive mentality. Sorry for the long-winded post, and for any more potential inaccuracies, I don't really watch film like that anymore. No, this is a good analysis. Better than just old coach bad, new coach good. So, the Boulder for President went out there and really gave a scouting report on the gosh darn coach, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below how this entire system might be forcing Detroit to totally change up their game plan. How well do you think this is going to translate from the LA Kings, from the Oilers, from the San Jose Sharks? How well do you think those systems will translate into Detroit, and whether or not you think this is a good idea too? Is Todd Mclellan the guy here? Was he the right guy? I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Wings firing Derek Lalonde, hiring Todd Mclellan, as well as Axel Sandin Pellikka getting that hat trick, baby. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure Ice Hockey Gips went out there and posted everything that we need to see. Here you go, Axel Sandin Pellikka. This was his 3rd point of the game, and yeah, look at that. Walks right in on the right side, snipes it by the goaltender. That's great. He had more shots on goal. My gosh, he had 9 shots on goal through 2 periods. Oh, my gosh. ASP, what a guy, eh? Here's about 1 minute of the power play leading up to ASP's first goal of the night. Oh my gosh, man, this Swedish team and ASP, what an absolute legend. The one-timer on the left side, the Ovi bomb, baby. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Red Wings firing their coach as well as Axel Sandin Pellikka. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.